So here we're looking at the dorsal, lateral, and ventral horns, okay, great horns. So this is the anterior white column, lateral white column, and dorsal white column, or posterior white column, okay? If we look right here, this space in the center is going to be known as the central canal. Now this is one area where the cerebrospinal fluid is going to be located. So this is one area where the CSF is going to be located, okay? We're going to talk about another area in a bit. But if you look right here in the gray matter, we have an area directly anterior and directly posterior to this central canal. And very simply, this is called the anterior gray commissure, and this is known as the posterior gray commissure. It allows information to be transmitted back and forth. Okay? So this is the posterior gray commissure, and this is the anterior gray commissure. Next, if we look at these divisions right here, this is known as the anterior median fissure. Again, how do we know it's anterior? Because you look for the dorsal gray horns. Okay, so this is the anterior median fissure. And if you're a bowler, you've heard of the term AMF. Somebody was telling me last week that they believe it stands for America's most favorite, I think is what they said. I don't know. Anyway, I never knew what it was for, but I knew it had something to do with bowling. So this right here is AMF. This is the anterior median fissure, and this back here, PMS. Posterior median sulcus. Okay, so posterior median sulcus, and this is the what? Anterior median fissure. What's it called?
Anterior median fissure.
And what's this right here called?
Posterior
median sulcus. What's it called?
Posterior median sulcus.
I know it's Monday morning. Say it loud, say it proud. What's it called?
Posterior median sulcus.
Yes, we all look terribly thrilled to say that this morning. So, does everybody understand that? Now, when we looked at this before, we looked at this model before, we said that this was going to represent a sensory neuron, correct? We could all describe it, also describe it as being afferent. Agreed? Okay. So what type of neuron is this in yellow? Is it a multipolar or a pseudo-unipolar? Pseudo-unipolar, very good. And you'll notice that this right here, okay, this right here is going to be the cell body of that pseudo-unipolar neuron. Okay. Now, when you have a collection of these cell bodies grouped together, it forms this larger structure called a ganglion. So a ganglion is a collection of cell bodies. Now, they're only showing one cell body in here, but you'd have many more in this ganglion. So again, the ganglion is going to be a collection of cell bodies. And hence, if you look at the size of it, if you had a bunch of them packed into that area, you would expect the tissue around it to be enlarged as well, exactly bulged. Okay? So this is going to be sensory information. So sensory information is going to be taken in through the dorsal side. We see a synapse, and we see a synapse here with this type of neuron here. Does anybody remember what type of neuron this is? It's the same type of neuron that this is? It is called an interneuron, yes, because it connects one neuron to another. But if we were talking about physical structure, what we describe it, is it a pseudo-unipolar or is it a multipolar? Multipolar, very good. So this is a multipolar neuron, and it is an interneuron. Good, it connects the sensory neuron, in this case, with another multipolar neuron. This is considered an efferent neuron, or a motor neuron, okay? And notice where it exits. It exits out of the ventral side, out of the ventral gray horn. Okay, so this is going to enter on the pseudo-unipolar is going to enter on the dorsal side. The motor is going to exit on the ventral side. Okay.